Hey guys, today I want to share a trick I often use to make my paintings more harmonious. This technique works best when you have an object against a blurry background. If you've tried painting something like that before, you might know that the object and the background often don't look cohesive. The object can end up looking like a sticker rather than a part of the scene. So here's how I fix that. Here's a painting I did last year, a chase piece against a soft background. You'll see that I have these very pronounced hard edges around the chase piece. Separately, the object and the background look okay, but together something just feels off. Here's the trick I use to fix situations like this. Usually when an object looks like a cutout, there are at least one or two problems at play, often a combination of both. Either the object has hard edges, or the colors don't look like they belong in the same environment. Here's what I do, especially when both of these issues are present. I just wet the entire thing. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but let me show you. First, I try to fix the hard edges using a flat brush and a scrubbing technique. With a damp flat brush, I go over the edges. This should reactivate the paint so that the edges become a bit blurry. When I'm satisfied, I blot the area with a clean tissue. This also helps me fix any crooked lines and small irregularities in the outline. The results can vary depending on the paper and colors you're using, so make sure to test it on a small area first. Here's a before and after. The difference is subtle, but this is just the first step. Next, I rewet the entire painting. I use clean water and a soft brush, starting by carefully going around the object. I try not to reactivate the paint too much. However, reactivating some of the background paint is actually one of the reasons this method works. You can see that as the blue flows over the gray surface, the colors start to look like they belong in the same space. This helps make the colors more harmonious. Lastly, with a smaller brush, I bring the water with reactivated paint over the chase piece. Now it has this blue tint and it immediately looks like it fits into its environment. This also helps blur the hard edges, so we're hitting two birds with one stone. You can use a damp brush to lift the paint from the areas you want to keep light. You might need to go over these areas multiple times to ensure they stay light, and you can even use a napkin to lift the color more aggressively. One mistake I made here is that I didn't add more dark color to the shadowy parts of the chase piece. Rewetting it activated the dark paint, so now the shadows are kind of lost. At first I didn't notice because, as you know, watercolor looks darker when wet. Just keep that in mind if you're trying this technique. Your shadows might need reinforcement. Another effect of this method is that the background becomes more blurry and soft. That's another thing to keep in mind. After lifting the paint from the highlights, it's a good idea to dry everything with a hairdryer to prevent the paint from creeping back into the same areas. So here's how it looks now. I like it much better this way. It looks more subtle, more professional, and overall more interesting. So let me know what you think about this technique. Would you try it the next time you feel like your object stands out too much against the background? Or maybe when your background isn't soft enough? I hope this helps, and I'll see you again soon. Until then, happy painting!